Good morning, everyone, and today we'll be playing some more Green Tron. This is an updated list that 5.0'd on the 8th, provided to me by the MTG Goldfish website when I searched Green Tron. I haven't noticed too many differences in this version as opposed to the other ones that I've played. Slightly less on the artifact wishboard, and a little deeper into green, but yeah. Other than that, let's go ahead and take this into a league. I'm getting somewhat hyped for Battle for Zendikar. The mill list we played yesterday is partially due to that, but I'm noticing some cards I want to play in a few different decks. The new 2-mana instant speed Ponder. I'm looking forward to playing in Battle of Wits. I like it a little bit better than the enchantment version of that effect, simply because I can flash it back with Snapcaster, which makes it slightly better in my opinion. For a deck like Battle of Wits specifically, as far as other decks go, I'm not sure which one of those would be better in slot. My gut is the enchantment, because it sticks around, builds devotion, has another effect you can spend mana on. Alrighty, round 1, here we go. So our opponent will be on the play. We have Tronland map on the draw. Problem is we only have 18 lands in this deck. The odds that we draw any land are kind of low for my taste. I'm going to mulligan. Like, it wouldn't have been a bad hand, right? But, alright, I'm going to keep this. I'm not super thrilled about it. I'm going to put back Chromatic Star. I like the double map can guarantee us Tron by turn 4. Alright, opponent starts Forest, Arbor Elf, so this almost certainly means it's Ponza. Which we might have trouble with because we are very low on speed here. This is going to be a slow hand. Alright, never mind. We've been upgraded to Natural Tron. Well, not Natural Tron, as I've been corrected. Natural Tron's when you just play it out of hand without searching. But turn 3 Tron, nonetheless. Okay, opponent plays a Utopia Sprawl, puts it on red, untaps, and another Arbor Elf. Now we untap, play Urza's Mine, and pass. Ulamog the Ceaseless Hunger is nice. So it looks like either a Bloodbraid or a Chandra. Pillage. Okay, let's go get Urza's Mine. If they were to, like, untap and play a Blood Moon here, we could at least tutor for a forest off of Expedition map. Clothis. Okay. We untap. Play Urza's Mine. Play Star. Crack Star for green. Play map. Pass the turn. If we land an Ugin this game, we're probably going to win, because they only have one non-colored permanent. So, one colorless permanent here. Alright, opponent casts a Bloodbraid Elf, wheels into another Clothis. So they will get to attack with Clothis, and play Seasoned Pyromancer. So they empty their hand of Lightning Bolt Arbor Elf and get 2 1/1s. They hit us for 7. Next turn it'll be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay. So play Tower. Take a look at our sideboard right here. We have Ensnaring Bridge, but it's going to be a little late. Can't Wish for Contortion. Liquid Metal Coating is not going to do enough, I think, because that just takes them off of mana. And we're going to lose life to Clothis. Hang on a sec. Yeah, we probably have too many cards in hand. Let's see. We could wish for Ensnaring Bridge, play Ensnaring Bridge, still have 4 cards in hand. Yeah, that just means that they can still do whatever they were going to do. We could animate Expedition map and block. That actually might work. So we're going to try that. If we can somehow survive, we win off of just down-ticking Ugin. So opponent exiles Clothis. We can block here. We take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6 mana. Magus of the Moon. Okay, that's a problem. And another Seasoned Pyromancer. I don't think we have an answer for Magus of the Moon that will still let us cast Ulamog. I mean, if we have a Dismember, yeah, sure, but attacks us, and us. Okay, we'll block the biggest. We go to 4. We untap. We get a Sylvan Scrying. Go ahead and wish. I mean, yeah, I guess we just bridge, but we have too many cards in hand. Well, one land destruction spell was enough to slow us down to lose, so that's a little disappointing. So post sideboard, we're going to bring in Wilt, Spatial Contortion, and I think Thragtusks. I'm going to cut Ugin the Ineffable, and a Wormcoil. Emrakul, the Promise End is a little ambitious, I think. And so is, like, Ulamog. Like, Ulamog's fine, but I think we just have better spells. Only gonna bring in... No, I want all of them. I'm gonna cut another Wormcoil. And we'll run it back like this. Alright, I'll play first. We do have Natural Tron. Legit Natural Tron, with 2 redundancies. So, hopefully this is enough. Especially on the play. We're going to have to rely on this Ancient Stirrings to get us to where we need to go. So, play Chromatic Sphere, pass the turn. Opponent shocks a Stomping Ground, plays an Arbor Elf. We untap, draw an Ugin. Crack for green, draw a card. Ancient Stirrings. There is a Walking Ballista and another Power Plant. I'm going to take the Power Plant. If my opponent has Artifact or the Pillage, if he has Artifact or Land Destruction like that, I want to just be able to play the Tron land. Alright, 2 mana for our opponent. They play Cinder Vines. Okay. We draw Sanctum of Ugin. I guess there's no reason not to play Tower. Crack for green. Draw Chromatic Star. Take a damage. Crack for green. Draw Karn. Okay. Pass the turn. As long as my opponent doesn't play Blood Moon, we're fine. Or Magus of the Moon. They drew a land. Magus of the Moon. Oh, well, that's a pretty good top deck. We've used up a lot of our spheres to cantrip. Alright. Start playing redundant Tron lands. Our opponent's hand being as slow as it is, we might actually have a chance here. A redundant Magus. They hit us for 2, down to 17. If they get a clock that's much faster than this, we might actually have a problem. So, play Map. Pass the turn. I'm going to use Map to tutor for a basic forest. That way, if we draw Thragtusk, we can play it. And Thragtusk would be very good here. Okay, so it looks like my opponent is going to attack for 5, or play a land and then do something else. Bloodbraid into Clothis. That's pretty good. So we're actually going to get hit for 7. Go get a forest. Take 7, go to 9. Come on, Thragtusk or Wormcoil. Karn Liberated does not do it. And we lose. 1 mana away from casting an actual Karn here. That is a little frustrating, but Ponza is a tough matchup. Had my opponent not drawn that land for the Magus, they would have lost. Alright. Sorry I keep clearing my throat so much. I kind of feel like a little bit gunky, so I'm trying not to, but I'm failing pretty miserably. Alright. Round 2, here we go. I would love to play first. Double Sphere Sylvan Scrying, I think, is enough to keep this hand. Especially with, like, Karn Great Creator. Because, like, if we draw, like, 4 lands in total, we can still play Karn and maybe do something. Any land gets us to another Tron piece, and if we draw another Tron land that isn't Tower, we have Tron. So, We have 2 draws to hit a Tron piece that's not tower to just pretty much outright win this game. So start tower, star, pass the turn. Opponent plays Temple of Deceit, so it looks like Ad Nauseam. Ad Nauseam really picking up in popularity. Okay, Lotus Bloom. We untap. We draw Walking Ballista. Sack for green. Draw a card. Power Plant. Scrying. Mine. Alright, should be game. The only way that our opponent can do anything about this is if they play a white land and they have Pact Grace. And even then we're going to be following it up with stuff. They leave a card on top. We untap. We draw a Power Plant. Play Karn. Wish or Trinisphere. Play Trinisphere. Pass the turn. So our opponent can no longer use their artifact mana, and all of their spells cost a minimum of 3. This is a tough spot for Ad Nauseam to win from. Unless there's some kind of tech that they've started running in the last couple of days that I'm not aware of. Okay, opponent plays Phyrexian on life, that's fair. We untap. We draw a map. Go ahead and wish. We'll get Liquid Metal Coating. Play Coating. And then play map. Pass the turn. Oh, I don't think I played a land this turn, but I don't think it matters. So on my opponent's upkeep, we're going to turn off Temple of Deceit. Opponent may not recognize that. Okay, they're going to actually use their mana to cast Lotus Bloom then. Which is fair, it just means they're not doing anything else this turn. Okay, opponent plays a tap land. We untap. We draw another Karn. Go get a tower. Because like I said, I'm silly and forgot to play a land last turn. Kill Temple of Deceit. Play a new Karn. Keep the new Karn. Wish. I guess at this point we can take Sorceress Spyglass. They have Ad Nauseam, Pact of Negation, Spoils of the Vault. I don't think they have an answer for Karn, though. So, because they have one on board, I'm just going to name Lotus Bloom. That way, even if they do somehow have an answer for Karn, they still can't use the mana off of Lotus Bloom. Okay, opponent plays Thassa's Oracle. We untap. We draw Ancient Stirrings. Play Power Plant. Hit their plains, blow it up. Take out their remaining 2 lands. And that's enough. Perfect. Slight blunder by me there, but it didn't matter. We ended up winning anyway. I think our opponent was dead as soon as we played Karn Trinisphere, honestly. Okay. I think we bring in Veil. And I think we bring in Veil over Wormcoil. We might be able to get through a Pact of Negation on a critical target with Veil, but yeah, that's basically all we can do right now. Our best hope is to just Tron into Karn, either one. Okay, this is turn 3 Tron into an Ancient Stirrings, it looks like. We are on the draw, so if my opponent keeps an awkward hand, this does have a chance of winning. Not a bad hand. Alright, I will say we're going to keep this, and we are going to start Tron Land Map. Alright, opponent starts Gemstone Mine. Wow, okay. It's kind of ballsy, but I was going to say, unless it kills our opponent, that's a totally fair thing to do. So we'll start Power Plant, play map, pass the turn. Lotus Bloom ticking down. So this will come down on turn 4. Opponent plays a Temple of Deceit, and they scry. Taking a long time to decide whether to put it on top or bottom. It generally will mean it's an interactive spell. It's either an interactive spell or a cantrip. They're trying to see if they'll cast, like, on their way to 4 mana. Really, with the Lotus Bloom, my opponent will have the mana. So the only thing that they would be looking for is a combo piece they don't have or like a Pact of Negation. They leave it on top, so I suspect it to be a Pact of Negation. We draw Sanctum of Ugin. So play an Urza's Tower. We'll go search up mine. Pass the turn. I learned my lesson after that that whole natural state into Triumph of the Hordes scenario. So I crack map on my turn usually now, because there's no reason for me to pump fake a Warping Whale I don't have. It's a little more likely that I have one post sideboarding, so I guess, but like, my luck is this would be the one Ad Nauseam player playing in Krosan Grip, which would really ruin our day. So the cool thing about Natural Tron into Star Stirrings versus our opponent's deck is they're relying on artifact mana, and that could very well get us a Karn. Okay, opponent passes. We draw Ugin the Ineffable. So play mine, play Star. Crack Star for green. Stirrings. Get Karn, Great Creator. Rest of the bottom. Play Karn. Okay, opponent has a Pact. We play a Star and pass the turn. So, if my opponent just has the combo, then they have the combo and we lose. If they have to use Lotus Bloom to pay for Pact, then all of this is just fine and dandy. Okay, opponent gets a Lotus Bloom. Simian Spirit Guide. Angel's Grace. Oh, we just getting styled on right now? There's no reason to do this in response to the Pact trigger, by the way. We'll see if our opponent can figure out a way to win from here. I mean, theoretically, they have another Simian Spirit Guide and could just Lightning Storm right now. They're leaving 4 cards in deck. Oh no, they've changed their mind. They're getting all of them. Okay. I mean, if our opponent Lightning Storms, they just kill us. They'd also play a land, exile Simian Spirit Guide, and Pentad Prism for Athas's Oracle, which is what I imagine they're actually going to do. There's the Simian Spirit Guide. There's the second Simian Spirit Guide. There's the third. So it is Lightning Storm, it would appear. It looks like my opponent has only got 2 Pact of Negations in their deck. Unless they were holding some when the turn started and they just wanted like redundant ones or something. Oh, opponent just lost. They did not maintain priority. I'm sorry, opponent. So, one thing about playing Ad Nauseam, you have to hold control when you cast Lightning Storm. You have to maintain priority in order to do that. My opponent played a land and they have no more mana. I cannot tell you the number of times that I've run into that. Alright, opponent conceded before I could type a response. So, off to round 3 we go. Alright. Round 3. Yeah, I'm gonna mulligan. If those were 2 different Tron lands, I would have kept. This, on the other hand, is turn 3 Tron with an Ancient Stirrings. So hopefully that's enough. I will be keeping this. I'm putting back a Forest. The only reason a Forest would be relevant, is if we're playing a Blood Moon deck, which we very well could be. Karn is a nice top deck. We'll start mine, play Star, pass the turn. Alright, looks like it's Jund. I was going to say, I was really hoping that this is not another Ponza list. Okay, opponent plays a Black Cleave Cliffs into a Tarmogoyf. We untap, we draw a Karn Liberated. So play a Power Plant, crack for green, draw a card. Sylvan Scrying, get Tower, pass the turn. If my opponent has Assassin's Trophy, that would be bad. If they don't, we have Karn to deal with Tarmogoyf, and then Karn for backup. You can tell me which Karn I meant by which Karn in the comments below. It's a pop quiz. It will be on the test later. I'm going to plays a Nurturing Peatland into a Klothys. Okay, they attack us for 3. Take 3, untap. Play Tower. Karn Liberated. Down tick will hit Tarmogoyf. Pass the turn. This only goes wrong if my opponent has a lightning bolt or a Bloodbraid elf. I was trying to think of. I was like, what's her face? The elf with haste. Which it looks like my opponent does have a Bloodbraid elf, considering that they exile the land to Clothis to get mana. Kind of reeks of I don't have a land in hand and need to cast a 4-drop. They sack Nurturing Peatland? Are they looking for a bolt? Or an Assassin's Trophy? Okay, they play a Verdant Catacombs. They crack it. They play a Blood Crypt, untapped. A Liliana of the Veil. They uptick to make us both discard. We'll discard a Sylvan Scrying. Opponent discards a Fatal Push. We untap. We draw Ugin. So uptick, enter opponent's hand. Play Tower. Play Ugin. Downtick, destroy Lily. Play Karn. Play Chromatic Sphere. Wish. And we're gonna go ahead and get I guess Liquid Metal Coating. Cast Liquid Metal Coating. Opponent says, could you draw better? They're a little salty about the Tron. I mean, they're allowed to get as salty as they want to get. That's fine. Wormcoil is really good versus Jund. I'm gonna cut Emrakul though, and a Walking Ballista and bring in 2 Thrag Tusks. We could do Veil of Summer, but I don't want to, like, Veil of Summer does not fit into our, like, primary best lines without additional green mana that we don't anticipate on having. Which means it's not that great versus Hand Hate. Like, we could bring it in, and it would probably be okay. I just don't think it's going to be good versus Thoughtseize. Okay. Stirring Scrying can probably get us there. It's a little bit slower. When it starts Swamp, Thoughtseize. They probably take, I was going to say Stirrings, but play Tower, play Star, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Verdant Catacombs and passes. We draw Karn Liberated. Sack Star for green, draw another Tower. Ancient Stirrings. We'll get a Mine. Rest of the bottom. Play Ancient Stirrings. Pass the turn. If my opponent is going to Assassin's Trophy me, and they want to hit the tower because it's like the quote-unquote greedier option, that's really bad for them because they have no way of knowing this, but we just drew a tower. Okay. They fetch an Overgrown Tomb tapped. Untap. Out of the sideboard, our opponent will have Fulminator Mages. Yep. They gotta do it right now. Okay. They hit Tower. We untap. Draw a Forest. Play a Tower. We're gonna go for the maximum high roll upside of drawing a Power Plant. Also playing a little bit of a mental game knowing my opponent's on tilt. Playing the card they just answered or just dealt with is usually pretty demoralizing. Might encourage our opponent to make mistakes. Doesn't look like it though. They have enough answers. So we get a Forest. We untap. We draw Sylvan Scrying. So Sylvan Scrying, get a Tower, play Tower, pass the turn. So we're going to get to Karn Great Creator, and we're probably getting the Thrag Tusk. And Thrag Tusk is a little bit tough for my opponent's deck to handle, but it's not like unbeatable or anything. They play Clothis, sure. We untap. We draw Mine, so play Mine. Play Karn. If we downtick him and our opponent has a Bolt, they can kill him, but they can probably kill him anyway, so it's just better for us to get more cards right now. I'm going to take Trinisphere. It's going to cut my opponent down to basically 1 card a turn. Okay, they're going to exile our Tower to get an additional mana. They play Nurturing Peatland and crack it. They ping Karn for 1. I guess that's to prevent us from wishing again. They play Lily. They uptick Lily. We're going to discard a Forest. Opponent discards Verdant Catacombs. Pass. We draw. Walking Ballista. I don't think that does anything. Play Forest. Play Thrag Tusk. Gain life. Uptick. Pass the turn. I think I discard a Walking Ballista here if my opponent upticks Liliana. They exile a forest out of our grave. They cycle a Baron more. They pick it up and cycle it again. They play a Tarmogoyf. And they Verdant Catacombs. They make both players discard. So we discard Ballista. Opponent discards Wooded Foothills. We untap. We draw Ugin. So uptick Karn. Play a second Thragtusk. Pass the turn. We're just looking to draw a power plant here. Because if we do, we play Ugin and win the game. Okay, they exile Urza's Tower. They get a red mana. They cycle Baron more. So the question is, do we discard our only playable card in the form of Trinisphere? Yeah, I think we do. They pillage our tower. Okay. We untap. We get a tower. Play tower. We have no expedition maps in exile, because that'd be hilarious to wish with. Or wish for. We do have to wish for either Liquid Metal Coating or Sorceress Spyglass. Spyglass seems a little bit safer. So play Spyglass, and we're going to name Liliana. Okay, put a Cracks Verdant Catacombs. They do have Assassin's Trophy. Okay. Pass the turn. Question now is, do they want to hit the 4th tower, or do they want to hit Liliana? Or do they want to hit the tower or the Sorcerer Spyglass? I don't know why I said what I said. So attack Liliana with both Thragtusks. Opponent can block and kill one. The Assassin's Trophy the other one. We get a forest. We get a beast. Okay. Opponent's last card in hand is Kolaghan's Command. So they get an additional mana. Okay, so they're going to kill Karn and destroy the artifact. I think they have to ult Liliana immediately. Yeah, okay. It'll be interesting to see how they split here. One thing that you got to know when you're playing against Liliana the Veil online, because I've made this mistake before, is recognize that when you choose a pile, you're choosing a pile to sacrifice, not a pile to keep. Okay. We're going to try and keep the tower, because the way that we get out of this the quickest is definitely by just top-decking Tron pieces. Opponent picks up a Baron more. It's going to be game over here pretty quick, though, because they're going to ult Renin 6 and just have infinite Assassin's Trophies, and we do not have any more basics in our deck. So our opponent will be able to Stone Rain us out. We'd have to top-deck Tron piece, which is not super likely. Okay, they bolt the Beast. They attack for 6. We go to 24. Alright, that's game. Good news is we'll be on the play for game 3. I'm going to bring in Veil of Summers now, and I'm going to bring them in over Thragtusk. We'll run it back. I would like an answer to Assassin's Trophy. Alright, we'll play first. Tronland. Let's go. Sphere's a good draw, Star's a good draw, Mine is a good draw, Forest is an okay draw. There are a lot of draws that are good from this position. Map is a good draw. So start power plant, pass the turn. Okay, opponent starts Swamp Thoughtseize. Okay, they take Karn, Great Creator. Play Tower, pass the turn. We'll see if they have Assassin's Trophy. Because if they don't, it's Karn time. If they have Assassin's Trophy, that sucks. If they don't have Assassin's Trophy, and they have like a Thoughtseize, then it's like mediocre. opponent is pretty salty. So they Assassin's Trophy Karn. We get a forest, which turns on Veil of Summer. They'd have to have another green land and land destruction. Roxa. Each opponent discards a card. Okay. Well, we can discard Sylvan Scrying. We untap. We draw Ancient Stirrings. They're going to surgically extract Karn Great Creator. You and permanents you control gain hexproof from black. So that does nothing to Karn. That's fine. He can take the one out of hand. We have an Ancient Stirrings. And a Worm Coil for backup. We could just play the Worm Coil and keep up Veil of Summer. It's definitely safer. But like we could also just hit Karn off of Ancient Stirrings and win. Okay. Karn liberated. Hit their black mana, pass the turn. It's not lucky, it's statistically likely, dude. If you have an attitude like this, I'm not gonna say anything else. Alright. Uptick Karn. Play Worm Coil. Pass the turn. Opponent can fetch to make this big enough to kill Worm Coil, but Worm Coil has Death Touch. There's no universe where we don't make this block. Oh no, there's already a land in the grave, my bad. So this does work. They killed one half of a Worm Coil. We untap and draw Power Plant. Take out the mountain. Alright, opponent concedes. Cool. Alright, I will see you all in round 4. Alrighty, round 4, here we go. Oof. You know what, I'm gonna keep it. Okay, opponent starts Bloodstained Mire. Steam Vents. Burning Inquiry. Giving us Tron. But into double hollow one, that probably means we're dead. So start mine. Pass the turn. Worm Coil is really good. If we get Burning Inquiry like again, it's a problem. Okay, Insolent Neonate. Take 8, go to 12. Okay, play a Power Plant. Play Sphere. Crack it for green. We draw Karn. Okay. Pass the turn. We're going to curve Worm Coil into Ulamog. Opponent attacks for 9. We go to 3. They sack Neonate to draw a card. We untap. We draw another Ulamog. Play Worm Coil. And as long as our opponent does not have Bolt, we should win. Okay, they play a Mountain. Goblin Lore, maybe? Cathartic Reunion, discarding a Flamewake Phoenix and an Eldrazi Conscription. What on earth? Alright, we untap. We draw Forest. Go to combat. Attack for 6. Take our opponent to 11. We go to 9. Play a tower. Play Ulamog. And take out our opponent's lands. Great. Whew. That was a little stressful. We got pretty lucky off of Burning Inquiry. We turned 3 towers into just natural Tron, I guess. Alright. Let's see. Versus our opponent's deck. What do we do? I think we have to bring in Thragtusks. I'm going to go down Emrakul and Walking Ballista. Maybe not all the Walking Ballistas. Oh, you know what? We need Wilt. I'm going to go down all of the Walking Ballistas. And I'm going to cut Ugin the Ineffable. And we'll run it back. It's kind of interesting that I'm going to keep this hand. We could get absolutely, completely owned by Burning Inquiry, though. Burning Inquiry literally runs a range from, like, its highest upside is one or more players gets an Ancestral Recall because they drew 3 cards and discarded 3 cards they would never cast, down to the absolute nightmare scenario, which is literal better him to Turok. They discarded their 3 biggest action spells. Like, okay, put a Cathartic Reunions, discarding Riel the Everwise and Eldrazi Conscription into double hollow one. We untap. We draw Wilt. Crack Star for green. Draw another Wilt. Ancient Stirrings. And we're definitely taking a forest here, rest at the bottom any order. Play a land, pass the turn. Really hoping to top deck a land. If we top deck a land, we just start wilting hollow ones. They cycle a hollow one, discard Street Wraith, and attack for 8. We untap. We draw a tower. We could go for Tron next turn, but I've got a feeling that we could die pretty easily. Yeah, our opponent has a lot of ways to sneak out damage. I'm gonna play tower and pass, leaving up a Wilt. It's that Eldrazi Conscription that really, like, makes me nervous. I don't know why they would be playing this. Opponent cycles a Street Wraith, plays a Mountain. 1, 2... Cathartic Reunion, discarding Ox. Okay, they draw some cards. They go to combat. And attack. So go ahead and wilt one of them. Take 4, go to 8. Untap. We draw Star. So Sylvan Scrying, get Power Plant. Play Power Plant. Play Chromatic Star. Crack it for green. Draw a card. And wilt the other one. Okay. So we're going to be following this up with probably Karn, Ancient Stirrings. Kind of depends on what our opponent plays this turn, what threats they have. Storm Herald. Okay, that's game. So Storm Herald Conscription, that's what that's for. Okay. Yeah, I think we run it back. We just have to have a good draw while we're on the play. Opponents' Hollow One decks are incredibly high variance. I'm kind of glad they got nerfed by dropping Faithless Looting, because I think that deck was a little ridiculous. Alright, we have Tron, but no immediate threat to play off of Tron. Opponent mulligans to 6. Like I was saying, Hollow One, like, the upside... Like, the maximum upside hands for Hollow One are incredibly high power, incredibly fast kills. Okay, well, that gave us a threat. And we are going to get Tron because of it. Opponent did not have a Hollow One to play there. They discarded their Hollow One. So we play Power Plant, pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays a Mountain, Cathartic Reunion. We get Tower. Untap, draw Sphere. So play Tower, play Sphere, crack for green, another Tower. Play Wormcoil, pass the turn. Wormcoil should be somewhat difficult for them to deal with. If my opponent has a Storm Herald, they can attack us with Eldrazi Conscription. They have a Blood Moon. Alright, well, we're not particularly afraid of a Blood Moon. Play a Forest, play a Star, go to combat. Attack for 6, take our opponent to 8. And we're going to leave up Wilt. If my opponent does play Storm Herald and attacks, we can use Wilt to get rid of the Eldrazi Conscription. Okay, another Cathartic Reunion, discarding Eldrazi Conscription Ox. They can get back Ox. Okay, so they discard their hand and draw 3 cards. Goblin Lore, Riel, and Flamewake Phoenix, which they can't reanimate currently. Okay, on their end step, we're going to draw with Star. Another Mine. Might as well hit Blood Moon. Untap. We have a ton of good draws. Wilt is okay. So we can either play Thragtusk, or we can play Wilt. We can cycle Wilt, which is probably safe enough considering how much mana we have. I'm going to cycle Wilt. Okay, Ancient Stirrings. Karn, Wormcoil. So take Karn, rest of the bottom, play Tower, play Karn, nuke Ox, go to combat, hit our opponent for 6, take them to 2. I don't think our opponent can win. We have redundant Tron pieces, so even if they did hit us with Eldrazi Conscription, we would be fine. We have enough life total to survive that. We have an active Karn liberated, which needs to die for our opponent to really stand a chance. Opponent's deck is pretty sweet. It's just incredibly high variance. And they just discarded 2 Storm Heralds. They play a Bloodstained Mire, Burning Inquiry. Hey, Tron! And opponent concedes. Alright. Cool deck, opponent. And on to round 5. Hopefully we can 4-1. That would be a good boost to our account economy. Alright, round 5. Here we go. We'll play first. Ooh. Forest is okay. Any sphere or star is great. Map is okay. We'll keep. Also, other Tron piece would be very good. Opponent mulligans to 6. Play mine, pass the turn. Okay, opponent is playing Ponza, it looks like, our Nightmare matchup. Okay, we draw a star, which is good. Crack star for green, draw a card. Karn liberated. Alright, no tower in the top 5. I think our best bet is probably to take mine. We need to hit land drops. Map can get us to Tron, though. Is it worth missing a land drop versus a deck with land destruction to play a map? I don't think so. I think taking the mine is correct. It's not great, but we could still top deck a tower here. If not, we're going to be having a pretty anemic turn. Okay, opponent plays a Wooded Foothills. Cracks it and gets a forest. Another Utopia Sprawl. On red, Seasoned Pyromancer. Well, there's a lot worse spells that could have been. Opponent discards Bone Crusher Giant and a Wooded Foothills. We draw Sylvan Scrying. Play Ballista on 1. Pass the turn. So we're looking to draw Tower, Forest, Sphere, or Star, or Map at this point. Actually, you know what? We're just going to take 3. I'm not going to block. Okay, opponent plays a Forest into an Elder Gargaroth. We're going to need that tower. Okay, another mine. So play mine, pass the turn. Tower gets us right back into this game. We have to do that before they destroy power plant. Okay. Now I don't think we can win. When it plays Wooded Foothills, cracks it, gets another forest into a Scavenging Ooze. Kill Scavenging Ooze because they're out of mana. Doesn't save us quite as much damage, but we're not winning this anyway. Yep, one of those mines needed to be a tower. Alright. Nothing we could do about that. I think we made okay decisions. Alright. Wilt coming in. Take out Emrakul, a Ballista, and an Ulamog. And we're going to try it like this. Alright, I'll play first. No. No. Oh, we're going to go to 5. Okay. Well, we could have a really good 5. We are on the play. Just every time we mulligan, potentially our opponent's land destruction spells get better than they already are, which is a little intimidating, to be honest. It's not great, but it could be a lot worse. Put back Wormcoil. And question is, do we want to go high roll or safe? And I think we gotta go safe. High roll would be play map and top deck a Tron piece. That would guarantee turn 3 Tron. Okay, opponent fetches up a basic forest into a Utopia Sprawl. On red, we untap. We draw Sylvan Scrying, so crack for green. Ancient Stirrings. We'll take mine. Rest of the bottom. Play mine. Play map. So if my opponent has a Blood Moon or a Pillage they're playing this turn, that's pretty bad. Which is pretty high likelihood. That's like the primary thing that their deck tries to do. Okay, they're playing a Blood Moon. We untap, we draw an Ancient Stirrings. So fetch up a forest. Play forest. And Ancient Stirrings. Take a land. Rest of the bottom. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays their third land into a Bloodbraid Elf, hitting Clothis, which is a really good hit off of Bloodbraid Elf. Opponent attacks for 3. We untap. We draw another mine. Play tower. Play Karn. Wish for bridge. Pass the turn. Because our opponent is playing Pillage, they can destroy artifacts, which means Bridge is not likely going to be very good against them. Okay, Bloodbraid wheels into Scavenging Ooze. Mismatching Bloodbraids kind of drives me nuts, but nothing I can do about that. Opponent will likely kill Karn here and then hit us for 4. Or 7, excuse me. Sure. Okay, we untap. We draw a map. Play Mine. Play Bridge. Sphere, map, and pray our opponent does not have a Pillage. Pass the turn. We get N bonus turns, where N is the number of turns our opponent can't remove Bridge, which is 0. Alright, I mean, sometimes that happens. Cool. Well, we still 3-2'd, and I think that's fair enough. We only lost to Ponza, so take that as you will. Ponza is kind of a tough matchup for us, at least in my opinion. I'm sure there might be a Tron wizard or two out there that's like, I've never lost to Ponza, and it's like, well, you know, that's you, man. You don't have Kano luck. Alright. Opening up our treasure chest, we get 25 play points, making back the value of the treasure chest, as well as a Daring Fiend Bonder. Is that worth anything? It is not. Alright. Well, anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this Tron League. I'm going to record something else now to go up alongside of it, which will be coming out about the time that you were talking to me now, I believe. It usually comes out about an hour after the initial video does. So, alright. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys next time. Remember, leave a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel if you're so inclined, and you can follow me on Twitch if you want to see me stream decks like this live. Wednesdays at 6 p.m. Mountain Time, 8 p.m. Eastern. Same username on Twitch as you can find me on here. So yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye!